Hi everyone! Welcome to my video where I'm going to show you how I set up my bullet journal for 2020. I usually just post photos on Instagram of all of my spreads, but I thought that you guys might want to see kind of the process, and I always think it's fun to watch videos in kind of fast motion of people creating things. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm creating my bullet journal spread and set up for 2020, so kind of the thing that goes before each of my monthly spreads, which you probably have seen. So on the right hand side here, I have just the title page. It says 2020, and on the left hand side I have a quote that says, "And so the adventure begins." Of course, always a good quote for the beginning of the new year. I hope that 2020 will be an adventure and a new start for me, and hopefully a lot of you that are looking for that. And then I chose this gold foil washi tape because I thought it looked kind of 20s-ish, and as people keep saying, we're in the 20s again, so hopefully things will be as fun as the 20s, but without the prohibition part. So here I'm creating a future log, which is basically a spread where you create a space for each of the months that are happening in the future, and you can write down birthdays or any important things that are happening in those months. Because usually you just create a bullet journal spread for a month, and so say I'm creating something for April, I don't really have a space to write down something someone tells me about in September, and so this is where you would write that down in the future, which is why it's called a future log. And sorry if it looks kind of glitchy, I tried to fix this like 1,000 times, but I am not a sophisticated iMovie user, so hopefully I can figure out how to fix this in the future. And sorry if it's bothering you, you can skip ahead if it is. But as you can see, I'm just creating 6 identical boxes, and I'm going to write the names of the months in each of the boxes, and then under those names I will be able to write holidays, birthdays, things like that. I have noticed actually, and as you can see, my cat Moose is making an appearance here. He wanted to see what I was doing. As you can also see the backside of that card that I'm using to make straight lines, so usually I have a ruler, but of course those kind of things get lost, so I just stopped buying them, and instead I'm using a Christmas card. And so this is kind of how the future log turned out. I have a month, and this is where I'm showing you how you can write kind of things that are upcoming. I noticed that in 2020 it's a leap year, and so a lot of holidays are on really good days. So check that out, it's pretty cool. So for this next spread, I am doing my goals. As some people would say, like your New Year's resolution. I found last year that writing quarterly goals was a little bit easier for me than New Year's resolutions. It's kind of nice because you can change things up depending on what's working for you, or even if you live in a place, Montana, how the weather is. Because sometimes you want to do things and it's just not possible because of where we live. So I thought it was really fun to do quarterly goals last year, and I actually got a lot more accomplished that way, so I thought I would do the same this year. So I just created 4 sections for each quarter, and then I'm decorating a little bit with this gold washi tape again. I think this gold washi tape is a really cool way to decorate because the washi tape is actually really inexpensive. I got this one for Christmas, but I put it on my Amazon list. But it's great because I'm not a super great drawer, which you will see later. I'm not very good at doodling things, and so washi tape is just an easy way to spice it up. So then at the bottom here, I wrote a quote about goals, which just says, "If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you," and that's one of my favorite quotes about making goals and trying new things. So I'm hoping to do more of that in 2020, and I guess we'll see a couple of my goals. I'm going to write down here. Maybe I'm also using this black and silver washi tape as kind of an offset. So for January through March, I want to finish the Couch to 5K, which I have been working on. I'm currently on week 5, but then I just got sick over the holiday, so I haven't ran in a couple of days. We're doing a January Whole 30, and then I want to wake up earlier, which I realize 7:30 is not early for a lot of you, but for me, 7:30 is a step in the right direction, and they always say to make goals that are SMART goals. They have to be achievable. I can't all of a sudden just start waking up at 4:30. So this next spread is inspired by a spread that I saw on Pinterest. I was looking for a way to keep track of all of the books that I read this year, because that's always a goal of mine, is to read more books. And I haven't decided. I think I want to read 30 books for next year, but it's hard because last year I started reading right after the bar exam, and I think I read like 30 books, well, 23 books between August and December. So I feel like I could probably read more, but I don't want to make the goal too ambitious. So I might just stick with 30, because last year my goal was 12. And I use Goodreads to keep track of all of that stuff. Would highly recommend Goodreads, and also you should use it because I want more friends, more people to look at and see what they're reading on Goodreads. So basically what this is just 3 floating shelves, and then I'm going to draw, this is the part where you see how bad I am at drawing all of these books. And then when I read a book, I can write the name of the book on the spine, the one that I already filled out, because I should finish it next year. I started reading it before 2019, but I don't think I'll finish it before the end of this year, is The Book Thief, which I would highly recommend. It's a book about a girl growing up in Nazi Germany. Kind of sad, but a really good book nonetheless. And then I decorated the bookshelves with various things you might see on bookshelves, but maybe not. That thing down in the right-hand corner is a candle, not a cake. Okay, so that's how bad I am at drawing. On this other side, you will see I started making a grid spacing page, and so I use a Leuchtturm 1970 dotted A5 journal. You can just buy them on Amazon, or they actually have them. They sell them like Barnes & Noble and other bookstores or paper stores, craft stores. So I buy mine at Barnes & Noble, but I'm basically counting out all the dots grids and then making a cheat sheet for myself to see what a half a page is or what a third of a page is. And I just find that helpful when I'm making my weekly spreads or my monthly spreads to remember. Otherwise, I have to count the dots every single time, and I'm sure half the time I don't count the right number. So then this is kind of my last spread here. It's kind of a fun spread, as some of you probably know, because I feel like maybe I told too many people, or I don't know. Last year I did the 100 Baby Challenge on Sims. Okay, so I like to play Sims, which is like a video game. It's a life simulation game. You can look it up. It's kind of fun. I like it. Anyway, last year I did the 100 Baby Challenge, and I just finished it where you have to have 100 babies in The Sims. And so this year I am doing the Perfect Sim Challenge, where I am creating a sim and you have to make them do all of the aspirations that are available in Sims, all of the jobs they have to get to the highest rank in, and then also they have to complete the highest level on all of the skills that are available in Sims. So I've started it, and it's pretty tricky. I haven't decided. I think technically it's a rule that you're supposed to turn aging on, and then you have to do all of these crazy things to keep your Sims alive, because Sims get old and die. But so right now I have the aging on, but I might have to turn it off because I feel like I don't even know how it's going to be possible for me to finish all this stuff before my sim dies, and then I don't know if I'm to resurrect them like 20,000 times. So here I'm just writing down a list of all of the aspirations. I cut a bunch of the writing out for you guys because honestly it would have taken forever. But you can see all of them, and you could pause the video, I guess, if you want to read more of them. They're kind of fun. Friend of the Animals is one I'm pretty excited about, and then now I'm writing down all the jobs that you can have in The Sims. So far, my person has completed the bodybuilder aspiration, and I'm currently working on the, like, chef, master chef, I think is what it's called, aspiration, and also the gardening one at the same time. But I'm currently still stuck in the fitness career track because to get to the last promotion takes a lot of work. And then here I'm writing down all the skills that you can max out. So it's kind of a lot. And I'm kind of debating whether or not I should buy more packs, because that's just going to mean more skills and more aspirations and more jobs for me to complete. And as you can see, I wrote this title up here. This is the perfect sim. And there's a little plumb bob, which is the Sims symbol, I guess. It should be green, but I didn't have green. up there as well. I started using that washi tape, but for some reason that black washi tape was driving me crazy. It kept peeling up. And so you'll see I replace it with something else. And then I have this kind of like blank space down here that I'm going to keep for writing little notes, like the recipe for the potion that's supposed to bring your sim back to life, which apparently is very difficult. That's another one I'm working on, is the fishing skill. Oh, I guess I completed the cooking aspiration. Now I'm working on the fishing aspiration. That one kind of helps you out. So then here is the final look at all of the spreads we created. You can see I changed the future log up a little bit. So thanks for watching, if you watched, and hopefully my video editing skills weren't too cringy, and I hope you have a good 2020. Bye!